Hey guys, Jason here. I've got a lead guitar lesson for you today, and I'm gonna share something very unique with you. I'm gonna show you how to play a very simple, melodic, sweep picking guitar solo. It's gonna sound just like this. That's the sweep picking patterns that I'm about to teach you how to play. I'll bring it in close, we'll learn these note for note, but first make sure you hang around till the end of this video because I've got something really cool. I'm going to show you how to integrate what we just played with some other really cool stuff that's going to really enhance your guitar playing skills. So hang around for that. Now this lesson is for two people. Well, these two people are really like everybody that plays guitar. So if you're an advanced guitar player and you're pretty fluid at sweep picking and playing sweep arpeggios, this is for you because even though you may be blazing up and down the neck, this is going to help you dial it back and put some more feeling into your guitar solos, and that's what your guitar solos are missing when you just sweep pick the same arpeggios all the time. If you're a beginner and you're just getting started out, well, these patterns are going to be quite simple for you to learn, so you'll get the hang of it playing these patterns. And also you'll notice I'm just playing the pattern halfway through. I'm stopping at a certain point to throw some other notes in there, and I'm not coming back up. You guys who are experienced, you notice that it's like, hey, this isn't a full sweep picking pattern. The goal of this lesson is really to help you put more feeling and impact into your guitar solos. So let's bring it in close and let's learn these very simple melodic sweep picking patterns. So just a couple of notes here. Actually, it's more than just a couple of notes. You get what I'm saying. A couple of things to keep in mind is we're only playing on strings A through B. So really we're only playing on 4 strings. And the second thing is, well, I don't remember what I was going to tell you. So let's just get started. Here's pattern 1, the first pattern. Now the frets I'm hitting here, again, we're starting on the A string. I am starting out on the 10th fret, and then we're going 12, 12, then 10, then 12, then we're going back to 10, then back to the G string on the 12th fret, then back to the B, 10 and 12. So just practice that first part. Now when we go back to that 12th fret on the B string, we're actually going to, that's where I slide up. We're actually going to slide up right there to the 15th fret, and we're going to do like kind of a little pull off there on 15 and 14. Actually, I'm sorry, it's not a pull off. I'm actually doing like an alternate pick on that. So really everything is downstroked, stroked. So let's go through that one more time. When you get to that B string, we're going to go from 10 to 12, back to 10. Then we're going to go back to the G string, 12th fret. Then back over to the B string with pretty much the same notes we just hit, and that's when we're going to slide up to that 15 and do the 15, 14, 15. So we're spending a little bit more time on this first pattern here because this kind of sets the tone, no pun intended, like metal tone. This kind of sets the tone for the other 3 patterns that I'm going to show you how to play because they're really all the same concept here. You know, we're kind of doing that sweep all the way down on, you know, that first part, those first 1, 2, 3, 4 strings there, and then we kind of go to a little back and forth, then into the slide. So that's kind of like the breakdown of how each of these 4 patterns are going. So let's play that first pattern one more time. you get any part of that wrong, like if it doesn't sound like what I'm playing and you just can't quite figure it out, that's okay, guys. Just keep moving forward. I just want you to get the concept down. You know, we're doing that very melodic, very simple melodic sweep picking pattern, and then we're pretty much leading into something else. And that kind of gives us that really diverse sound in our guitar solo. All right, now we're gonna jump right into the second pattern, and it's gonna be extremely similar to what we just played. Here's what it sounds like. We're gonna start out on the A string 12th fret. So basically we're playing 12, 14, 14, 12, like this. That's that first sweep part, that sweep picking part. And again, real quick for you beginners, the sweep picking, I should have went over this, earlier on. Now I do have several sweep picking videos on my channel, so just do a search, Jason Stallworth, beginner sweep picking or something like that. You'll find a video, or actually I'll put a video in the YouTube description for like a beginner's sweep picking. I've got a really cool lesson for that if you need help with that. This particular pattern here, we have the finger going off of 2 strings. So that 14 and 14 is kind of like you have to roll your finger a little bit. Now you don't want it to sound like this. In other words, you don't want that note, that prior note, carrying over into the next note. So you want to roll that finger so that after you hit that 14th fret on, what is this, the D string, going to the G, that D string is no longer hurt, if that makes sense. So it's like... So again, just roll that finger from 14 to 14 as you're doing that downward sweep pattern. Now, once we get to the B string, that little part there I played just now at the end, that's the same thing we played in the first pattern. Then back to the G string on the 14th fret. Then back to the B string. Then we do our slide. Now our slide up is a little bit different here. Now for pattern number 3. This is going to be cool. Actually, it's not going to be that much cooler. It's pretty much the same thing we've been playing. We're just playing it on a different part of the neck. Now there's some slight variations in this pattern, and I'll get to those. They're mainly at the end when we're doing that little slide part. I like that little slide part because it just adds, so much more impact to the solo. It's not just a standard, it's not the standard sweep arpeggio pattern. Just gives a little bit more something. I don't know, soul, feeling, whatever you want to call it. Here is the pattern. This time we're starting out on the 14th fret. Then we're going 14, 16, 16, 14. Then we're going from 14 to 15 on that last string, or the B string rather, the last string that we're playing in this pattern. Then back to the G string on the 14th fret. Then back to B. Now from that 14th fret on the B string, I'm going all the way to the 17th fret, hitting that and sliding up to 19. There's no particular reason why I'm doing it that way. It's a little bit different from the other patterns. To me, it just sounds cool. And that's the beauty of playing guitar, whether you're playing rhythm or lead. It doesn't have to be like this perfect uniform pattern. It's like, okay, that note needs to sound like this over here and blah, blah, blah. It's not a math equation. You've got to put feeling into your guitar solos. So if you're playing one pattern here, and you got another pattern down here that you want it to sound like it or similar, do something different because it just makes it sound cool. It's like, having hot sauce on chicken wings. It's just better that way. All right, so one more time, let's go through the pattern number 3. Alright guys, now for the 4th and final, very simple melodic sweep picking pattern. As you have guessed, and you already heard the song anyway, it's really similar to what we've already played. This pattern kind of stays consistent in certain things throughout the entire, solo here. But there is going to be a little bit different twist at the very end, and that's going to give it a little bit more life. All right, so we have moved up on the fretboard here, all the way up to starting on the 17th fret. And we're gonna be going 17, 19, 19, 17. So your sweep part of this pattern is gonna sound just like this. Again, 17. Now this pattern is gonna be almost a replica of the very first one, where we're gonna go. So that's gonna be 7 on the B string. It's gonna be 17 to 19, back to 17, then the G string, 19. Now this last part, this is where it gets a little bit cooler than what we've been playing. I mean, I think the whole pattern's cool. It just sounds cool, to me anyway. Instead of doing that slide, we're just gonna do a really cool bend. And all we're doing is bending up as if we were hitting that next fret, which would be number 20. And then we're kind of pulling off 19 to 17, back to 19. So here's the entire pattern. All right, now for the extremely cool part I told you about in the beginning. Let me finish pouring this beer first. Going to teach you that middle part that I played because I don't remember what I played. But the point I want to make with this, with what you just heard, that little clip there, is that you can play your melodic style of playing, whether it be sweep picking, whether it be just whatever. It could be anything. It's just you're kind of giving people that impact with your guitar solo, but you don't have to stay there. You can let that part lead into something that's faster or that's more fluid or whatever you want to do. If you want to go into some fast sweep arpeggios, you know, coming out of that melodic pattern, you can do so. And you can also go into something really fast, like that middle part, where there's some fast stuff in there, and then you can exit that with a melodic pattern. So you notice I played the melodic sweep picking pattern in the beginning and the end, and that's what I wanted to show you. So don't get caught up into like, well, I've got to learn these patterns or this certain style, and that's all I'm going to practice, because then what that does is it takes you away from the diversity, you know, that you can have in your playing. And really, that's what the listener wants. You know, you want to play your style of music, that's great, but at some point, especially if you're releasing music, at some point you do have to give people what they want to hear. So there's a fine line, there's a balance between that. And with the guitar solos, you can also get so caught up as like, well, I'm just gonna play this real fast part that I'm good at. You know what I mean? And that gets boring after a while. Seriously, I mean, it's like, okay, can you play something else? And that's what's going through the listener's mind when the solo guitar player is sitting there like, okay, I'm playing fast, look at me. And then like everybody's like gone on to, you know, do something else, eat corn dogs or whatever. Kind of want a corn dog now. I have no clue where that came from. Anyway, so hopefully you guys get the point. I think you do. Again, my whole goal with this video is to teach you some melodic patterns, you know, using a style of playing, sweep picking, that's normally really, really fast. And I'm not saying don't play fast. What I'm saying is mix it up a little bit, because nobody wants to hear the same boring sweep arpeggios over and over and over again. It's like, oh my God, put me to sleep. So anyway, that's what I wanted you to grasp from this video. And I really hope this video helps you guys. Please let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, you guys know I always try to answer you within at least that day or two. So guys, thank you so much for the support. And until the next video, as always, keep it metal.